Hey guys, Bowie here, and this is things I've learned with Timado's carry Rikimaru in 7.18. If you watch my videos frequently here, you probably don't care about me casting, so I decided to make something different. Every week, 3 subs from my Twitch channel can actually get their replays analyzed, and I'm gonna be doing it every single weekend. If you're interested in that, make sure to drop by the stream, ask questions, sub if you're interested. If you have Twitch Prime, that might be pretty easy for you. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. This hero got a lot of buffs ever since patch 7.12, and these buffs, in my opinion, are better tailored towards a safe lane Riki than a support one. Damage buffs help lanes, and he got 6 extra base damage. He also got an armor buff, and this hero is super slow. They nerfed the cast range on Blink Strike while buffing the damage, which doesn't make that much of a difference if you have phase boots, but you rarely have that very fast if you're a support Riki. I don't want to get into a lot of detail now, but if any version of Riki is viable, in my opinion, I have to give it to core Riki. What you have to remember about this hero is that he's not a lane dominator, and in this dual lane meta, if you try to start with Wraithband and Tangles or some stupid build, you're going to get destroyed. On the other hand, if you get a lot of regen, you will feel the need of base damage, and Timado definitely does struggle with less hitting early on, even with the bonus from Cloak and Dagger. One thing that you can use to secure CS is blink striking range creeps. We see Timado doing that very often during this game. Another nice play was getting the Quellen Blade after that and constantly taking trees out of this left side of the map so he can feel safer against the tree. Even then, you can see how this hero is very weak in lane. Even against all odds though, Timado kept using the Blink Strike to make sure the Dire doesn't use the lane advantage to get level advantage as well. That being said, the buffs to Blink Strike does make the hero relatively better in early skirmishes. One thing to mention is him getting phase boots as his first item in lane, while every other agility core will always get the Ekla. The reason for it is not only your insanely low base damage, but how reliant you are in move speed to get blink strikes now. You really want to get Cloak and Dagger so you have more damage, and you're sneakier, which forces you to get phase boots first most of the time. The way Timado gets CS is also insanely important. You have 20 extra damage if you attack someone from behind, so look how he makes sure to wrap around the range creep here so he doesn't miss the CS or is forced to use blink strike for it, which is a lot of mana early on. While a lot of people feel the need to get smokescreen level 4, not only you're super reliant on more points in your W, the slow from that skill is just 10%, and it costs 90 mana, which is 1/4 of your mana pool. While there are cases where you 100% need it, he does get the kill on Pango regardless by using the Blink Strike. As he completes the phase boots, you can already see how much damage you start packing and how much phase boots enables your hero. Unfortunately, the Pango dissuades Timado from going any further. And while it might look like Riki's doing okay, as your regen ends and other heroes get levels, you can see how pressured this hero can be. He ends up dying to Pudge. And when he goes back, he understands quickly that he needs more regen. That's not the only problem this hero faces. You rarely have kill potential in any hero. Your rotation power is weak, and with the nerfs to Battle Fury and Creep Gold, going Battle Fury and trying to farm also doesn't really help. This forced Timado's team to play very awkwardly while he tried to farm past the laning stage, but still in lane, since this hero cannot jungle for shit. One thing to note as well is that the Blink Strike is magical, so you can burn raindrops with it, but the fact remains that this hero, even if he can get some early kills, struggles hard in actually getting online with his first item. While it is hard to gank you, and while you can get inside of the enemy rotations better than most carries, you have nothing to protect your supports when the enemy engages. And well, you might be thinking, Bowie, this hero sucks, why the fuck should I ever play this thing? Well, this hero actually counters some heroes, and if you want to make this work, you have to play around your teammates. Timado never jungled the entire game. This hero is the worst jungler possible, since most of the damage requires the enemies to be turned away from him, and jungle creeps, they want to face him. By grouping up with his team, he was able to be a part of some kills that compensated for the terrible start he had, and only when he knew people were dead, he tried to farm the bottom lane. The Diffusal Blade is the item you want because it gives you solo kill potential, and with this item, this hero starts showcasing one of his great strengths. His cooldowns are super short, and technically, he can fight at all times. The first victim is the Tinker. huge kill. Right after that, 2 heroes die top, but at the same time, you'll see one of this hero's many weaknesses. He is very mana hungry, so he buys Clarities and 1 Basher component. Now that Basher gives raw damage, not only it is a great proc to have during Tricks of the Trade, it also synergizes with all of your attack speed. You're also against the Tinker, which means that proccing Sanj or Skadi on him doesn't stop the TP anyways, or the Dismember, or the Rolling Thunder, so I feel like it's a great addition to this game. Slowly but surely, Timado is able to control the map since this hero has so much kill potential. And this is the story of this game until Dire decides to group up. Even then, until that point comes, a lot of kills start bleeding from the Dire team just because this hero is insanely pesky and bursty. The problem though is that while you get a lot of kills, you're awful at sieging, and Timado was against the Tinker of all heroes, which made this game very long. Basically, this hero is very good at this one thing, but unlike, let's say, Slark, he doesn't get essence tier stacks after the kills and can get buildings or Roshan later on, making it hard for the hero to close out games. Well, Bowie, if this hero has such a tough time closing games, why not pick Slark then? Well, Slark's not great versus Tinker, and Riki becomes a complete different beast once he gets level 20 and 25 talents, as well as his Aghs. So let's fast forward a little bit on why that happens. Before the Aghs though, Timado decided to buy MKB, since he's against the Tinker. The item is quite solid, regardless of Tinker being in the game or not, but in this game it makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of damage during Tricks of the Trade, and it's also great when he's right-clicking, since he already has a lot of attack speed anyways to make use of the procs. Well, let's talk about the level 20 talent. When you get the extra cast range on Blink Strike, you become not only hard to spot because of the invisibility, but you're also incredibly mobile, making up for your lack of moves. Since your ult lasts for longer than Blink Strike cooldown, you can always ask for someone to get close, and that person doesn't even need to be that close, and you can just get out. Remember though, when you Blink Strike out of Tricks of the Trade, you will be facing whatever it is you were facing before, which means that sometimes, if you already plan on blinking striking away, turning towards the side you want might save you. Still, since you decide when you want to leave the ult, it's actually quite hard for the enemy to predict and stun you anyways. Even with all of that though, Timado's team starts to lose quite hard. The Tinker is mega farmed and they cannot reach him at all. The AoE on Tricks of the Trade is rather small and it's quite easy for Dire to disengage. Even though they kill Pangolier here and Timado still looks strong after the ult, he's useless. Another reason why Riki is such a good hero versus Tinker is that late game Tinker cannot solo kill you. He's usually already 6 slotted, especially if he has hacks, and when he jumps you like this, if he's by himself, you're going to be fine because you become invisible. The thing though is that since Tomato is showing top, the entirety of Dire and Tinker can quickly be bottom, and while Quap kills Tinker, he has buyback and Quap doesn't. Timado goes for a play that seems insanely risky, and it is, but ultimately wins them the game. He ignores the push completely. There's no way he can fight them by himself, especially without his Aghs or level 25. Pushing top here not only stops Dire chances to get Mega since they still have a tier 2, it's also the safest spot in the map, since everyone was showing bottom, the only hero that can be top cannot solo kill him. He gets a TP scroll, goes back to at least see if he can get a counter kill, but with no avail. At this point, the game seems very grim, but Timado not only gets Aghs, he also gets level 25, and I have to say this is probably one of the strongest power spikes in the game right now. While stuff like Mega Chronosphere is strong and scary, the spammability and versatility of Pocket Riki when you have mobile heroes like Earth Spirit and Quap is unparalleled, and if you don't believe me, just keep watching. Timado gets slightly unlucky, Quap jumps before he can Tricks of the Trade, which means Tinker survives, and actually if he dies here, that would be game. Still, not only they zone the entirety of Dire, thanks to the huge cast range on Blink Strike, he finds Larder here and rips him to pieces. The cooldown on Tricks of the Trade, it's what makes this kill, with the talent and Aghs, insanely powerful. Slaughter is still dead for 60 seconds, but Timado from downtown can mount his Earth Spirit here, and even with the Hex available, right-click the Tinker down, meaning that he diebacks. Still, what you need to understand about Riki in this point is that he's actually quite weak without the ult. See how he doesn't jump even though 2 heroes are already dead? He just smoke screams and jumps when the target is pretty much dead. When the ult is back again, look what happens. Gem is now on the ground, Timado can jump from the enemy tier 3 to this point, buybacks are forced everywhere, but watch. Tomato needs to play like a scared dog without the ult, and you have to be very careful with that. When Cop is back, they can rosh, and it's easy since Dire bought back everyone, and look how their high ground siege looks like. They have no vision inside the base, but the damage output of this hero is out of this world. Still though, after the ult's over, he needs to get back. He backpacks his cheese and doesn't even bother hitting the tower. He just waits for his ult, and believe it or not, it's just that easy. The only reason they don't win the game right now is that their Ancient is actually taking a beating, but you get the gist of it. Very, very weird hero, weak in lane, strong diffusal blade power spike, terrible in sieging, so try and pick this up with something that actually hits towers, and then you fall off again until you get level 25 in Aghs. But yeah, this hero is weird. I guess we have to wait and see other builds, or if this is just a meme, but I don't know, I felt like it was interesting to talk about it. As always guys, I'm streaming every day, and if you want to support my casting career, I would like to have you guys there. You can vote which pro player I'm gonna cast. If you're a sub, you can actually get 2 votes out of 1. It's usually pretty fun, and the community is quite lovely. If you want some dank memes or information about Dota, follow me on Twitter. If you want to watch me play or cast, Twitch is the place to go. I have some food stuff on Instagram and some personal stuff as well. I mean, if you're into Instagram, go there. We have a community on Discord. It's actually quite nice. We have, I guess, 700 people over there. So if you want to talk Dota, there's, you know, a lot of different stuff there. Go check it out. Yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want to finish the game, here's some crispy music for you. If you want to watch this in-game, here's the game ID. And yeah, bye.